Hi, good afternoon, guys. This is Dr. Nihar Parekh, and today we are just going to quickly sort of bring up that exactly what's going on with our kids and COVID, and more specifically, what's going on between our kids and Omicron. So, this Omicron per se, which has come in, is phenomenally contagious. So, if there's one person or one child or one maid in your family who's got the virus, which mind you that right now if any of you all have a sore throat, headache, fever, backache, body ache, there is a very high chance it is Omicron. It's going to infect the entire house sooner or later. And like I mentioned in the previous videos as well, that if one is positive, it spreads fast. All of you all can kind of be together, whether you're tested positive or no, because the Omicron is notorious for even escaping these tests. So once this Omicron enters your child, I want you to understand what it does to your child so that you don't panic. Still, we have a lot of parents who come to the clinic who, the minute we tell them it looks like Omicron, a lot of people will consult over the phone, and the minute we tell them that, look, it's going to be high possibility of COVID, they hear the word COVID and they're shattered. I think we need to build resistance to that because it's not what Delta was. So again, do not get confused of the second wave and the third wave. It's very different. It's like another disease. Let me put it the other way. It's like another disease with the same fundamentals, but having just 10% of the pathogenicity or troublemaking potential. So once the virus enters the child, you have to be mentally prepared. And this is from as young as 2 months old to 18 years. I'm talking about that range. Our youngest COVID patient last 3 days ago was 2 months old. Doing very well, by the way, recovered completely. So once the virus enters the body of the child, be mentally prepared that there's a war that's going to rage in your child's body for the next 24 to 48 hours. The first day is the toughest day. The first day is the toughest day in the form of fever. It's relentless. The fever is huge, spiking, recurrent, resistant to any medication, ibuprofen, paracetamol. They need to bathe them, comes every 2 to 3 hours. Half the time the fever doesn't come down. You practically are going to go through 24 hours of persistent fever. Sometimes may not even touch the baseline, just spiking 102s, 104s, 103s and staying 9900, not even going below down that level. It's okay because it's a 24-hour thing, and magically second day the pattern will change. The fevers will start responding much faster to the medication. They are going to require less frequency of medication, and the severity of the fevers is not going to be that high. So technically, you're going to have a little better day fever-wise. Third, fourth, fifth day, even after the fever goes. Once 48 hours goes, fevers are very rare. If fever persists beyond 48 hours, you should go see your doctor irrespective. There are other symptoms post 48 hours that are going to take a while to get better. Headaches, body aches, loss of appetite, severe cramps in the stomach, hyperacidic states where they would be nauseous for a while. I have patients who sleep for hours on end for 2-3 days after fever. Absolutely normal. This is a 5 to 7 day process. So the total first 2 days of fever, another 5 days of these symptoms. So this is the length of the disease till the 7th day. Children less than 2 years will just keep crying because they're in a lot of pain. They can't express it. They're just going to keep crying. And that also, it's taken care of by the paracetamols to reduce the pain. The feeds will gradually pick up on the 3rd or 4th day in infants. In children above 4-5 years of age, the appetite will come back after the 5th and 6th day. And by the 7th day, they will be like nothing ever happened. Now, that's why I'm putting this across, that this is the entire florid range of symptoms from the first day to the 7th day. And that's what you have to mentally prepare yourself as a parent without panicking. Now, why I would encourage every child and every parent to hear this and mentally prepare themselves is because whether you like it or not, within the next 1 or 2 months, if not already, your child or you will go through this disease. And being super optimistic, I would want this to happen. Because what it does is, by the 7th day, once the virus leaves the body, it gives a surge of antibodies for protection. So till your child falls into that age group which is valid for the vaccine, which may take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, you will be protected. You will be covered. You don't have to worry. You can continue living your day-to-day life. And before I end today's talk, I want to request every parent that please continue living your day-to-day lives. If there is somewhere you got to go, use your common sense. Too crowded, don't go. Mask up well, go there. If schools are opening, please go to schools. Do not wait for vaccines to come and then protect. These, for all practical purposes, in layman's terms, these are shots. Omicron infection is like a shot to your child, which will cause a little trouble for 2 to 3 days, that the vaccine does as well. And then will give a little antibody, a significant amount of antibody to get them through the next few months. And gradually this will spread through a population, create that huge herd immunity in children, and eventually get us out of this faster than anything else, any vaccine program, any sort of global discovery of new medication. It will just be the best natural form to get your kids up and about and start going back to their lives that we've promised them. So please don't panic. This is what we are talking about from our experience of what we've been seeing, this huge surge of COVID infected children. They're all doing well. They're all getting through. And I want parents from now on, this point onwards, to stop panicking the minute your child gets a symptom or tests positive. Take care, guys. Stay optimistic.